Off the crossbar! To left field and down for a base hit.
Hunterdon Central is going to win the state finals here tonight.
Mark it on the board. Touchdown, Red Devils. On the deflection. On the deflection. Hunterdon Central.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And welcome to Red Devils Field Hockey here on the HCTV live stream. A beautiful national anthem rendition sung by Leah Shallow. Great job, Leah, a senior here at Hunterdon Central. As we are ready for a little field hockey action today, Jim Johnson along with super senior, well, not a super, well, you're kind of super, Olivia.
Yeah.
Olivia Gruber calling some action with me today, a little field hockey. Red Devils off to a little bit of a rocky start so far this year at 0-4, looking to turn things around today against Hillsboro. What do you think, Leah? How are we looking for today?
By the way, you did call me Leah, but
Oh, gosh,
that's perfectly
yeah.
fine.
Leah's still seared in my memory. Olivia, what do you got for us today?
Well, I talked over with the coach a little bit. What I have heard is that they're off to a little bit of a rough start, but they're looking for their first win. Some important players were their starters, which is Lainey Lynett, Maria Ippolito, and Victoria Stefanik. On the goalie side, I've heard that Kelly Weaver has 20 saves and Daddy Podinker, I think that's how you say her last name, has 8 saves in the net as well.
So the Red Devils come into this one at 0 up and 4 down so far. Not the season that Coach Sponzo and crew were thinking of this year. Red Devil team that just 2 years ago advanced all the way to the state championship game. And a couple of these girls were a part of that. And you mentioned some of the players. Laurel Hanrahan, a senior on this team. Laurel and Maria Ippolito. A few seniors, Lainey Lynott, another veteran of this team. So these girls, certainly in their senior year, were probably hoping for a little bit of a better start. But sometimes, Olivia, you realize what you've got inside when things don't go the way you want them to. So let's see if we can kind of right that ship a little bit today.
Yeah.
We have a beautiful day for field hockey. I guess we've got late summer, early fall. Help me out, Olivia. Today, the first day of fall, isn't it? Sometime tonight?
Something like that. It was a little bit on the colder side on my way up to the press box, but it got a little bit hotter. But last time I checked the weather, it's 63 degrees.
63 is just about picture perfect. Yeah, lunchtime got a little cloudy and rainy.
Yeah.
Actually had to put a sweatshirt on for the first time in a long time. But I would say it's pretty much shirt sleeves or very light jacket weather today. It is, we're going to call it a beautiful fall, early fall day as opposed to late summer. This summer at times got to the point where it just felt like it was never going to end, Olivia? It was just really hot. We didn't get any rain, and it was hot and no rain, and it's good to get a little break in the weather.
Yeah, it was really hot during the summer, especially in August. Like those last few weeks of August, it was brutal.
So we've got a specialist up here in Olivia Gruber. Olivia is a versatile student here at Hunterdon Central. She's a senior. Olivia, talk a little bit about your main fall activity, that of being color guard here at Hunterdon Central.
Yeah, so marching band, it's pretty cool. Color guard, I think, is a little bit better than the band itself, even though we're the visual part, because, we spend a lot of time on the field practicing and, remembering our drill spots, which we call dots. So we have a thing called dot books, and that's how, we remember everything because we look at it. We do have actually our first competition, which is not really, a competition that we're competing in. We're doing competing as exhibition here at Central Saturday between 3 and 8, I think. I don't think I've gotten the schedule for that yet. But, yeah, it's pretty fun. It's my last year, which I'm pretty sad about. But,
you guys work so hard at this, and a lot of parents and a lot of people, maybe don't know what goes on behind the scenes. I got a little taste of that late this summer when I went out and shot some video of you and your teammates and the band as well. And we realized probably every day that the band is playing here because we hear them every day, right? Mm-hmm. We hear that, what do they call it, the metronome?
Yeah, we have a metronome, but I guess the band calls it Dr. Beat or whatever that's called.
That's advanced for a person of my limited knowledge. But I think what people don't realize is how hard you folks are going through your drills. I see it frequently in the breezeway at the end of the football field. There's a lot that goes into it to get that cohesion, right, of just everything looking just right. And I don't think the average fan who comes to these games has any idea how much time you guys are putting into it.
No, there is a lot of time. We spend, I think, the last week before school in August, or the last 2 weeks, basically learning everything from start to finish. And then by the first game, we know where we're going, we know the music, everything like that, knowing the counts and all that.
Yep, it's a different facet of student life here at Central. And Olivia, also one of our esteemed photographers here. And Olivia asked me last week, she'd like to give announcing a whirl. So here we are, the two of us, teaming up for today's Red Devils and Hillsboro Raiders game. The Raiders are a pretty strong team this year. They come in at 4 up, 1 down, and a tie. So if Central is looking to get things going, it will be no easy task here at Stewart Field as we are getting ready for today's face-off. We have a crack staff up here, our technical director, Chloe Achenbach. We've got Sydney Simeon and Jamie Cohen on camera with Kaya Jackson ready to fill in shortly. So we've got a good crew. I'm glad you could join us today on the HCTE live stream. The Hillsboro Raiders and our Hunterdon Central Red Devils from a beautiful afternoon for field hockey at Stewart Field. And that is Laurel Hanrahan ready at midfield. And Hillsboro will put this one into play to start things off. The Red Devils had a very tricky part of the schedule to start, which certainly, you don't like to make excuses, but frankly, they're playing some really strong teams at the top of the schedule. Division is really strong this year for Central. So a team that was just in that state championship a couple years ago, it's a distant memory right now for Coach Sponzo. And Central will put this one into play on the side. We've got Caitlin Redmond. Caitlin, a junior for Central, and she puts it down to the other end of the field. Red Devils only with 2 goals so far in their first 4 games, so really it'd be nice to get a quick start here, because sometimes you just get that mentality in any sport you do or anything in life, right, Olivia? When if you get down early, it's hard to kind of bounce back, especially if that's what you know. And that is number 6. That's Ella Bandola for the Hillsboro Raiders. Try to call out a few of the Raiders as we play today. We are in the first minute and change. Red Devils with an opportunity. Here we go. And that's a shot. That one kicked out. So the Red Devils with a quick opportunity here in the first minute or so of play. Trying to get on that board first, but back come the Raiders. Nice dribbling there by Madeline Kidd, number 1 of Hillsboro. That's Kidd looking for the shot. She takes it. Oh, that one was right in the shin. I think that was Lainey Linett, the senior. That one had to hurt, Olivia.
Yeah, looked like it from all the way up here in the press box.
Lainey's shaking up a little bit, but she's a gamer. She's been in a lot of these through the years, so she's back in action. Oh, and here's a chance for Hillsboro. That one goes just wide. Ooh, that could have been trouble here in the early going. Nice move there by Hanrahan, Laurel Hanrahan, the senior. And there's Redmond over to Amanda Walker, number 11. Can't control. Hillsboro on the near side. No score here in the early going. Glad you could join us here on the live stream. We've got Red Devils volleyball tomorrow at 5:30. Central hosting Roxbury. Football team on the road this week, so we have no Red Devil football action for you. Central will play Phillipsburg next Friday night right here at Stewart Field. That will be a good one. Always a big crowd comes over from Western Jersey as Hillsboro now tries to get some offense going, and it comes back the other way. Or does it? Not so fast. Oh, here come the Raiders with a chance. In front. Kicked aside. 72, our goalie is Kelly Weaver. Excuse me, that's Danny Podnicker. Podnicker's in net today. I think they call it in the cage, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
Yeah, if I've heard, that's what they call it.
In the cage.
Yes.
So Kelly able to kick that one aside.
Both of the goalies do split time in the cage, so we'll see action of both goalies from the Hunterdon Central side.
We'll be calling out all those names and numbers today. And there's Amanda Walker. Walker, a junior. Sends this one down. The whistle blows. Central looking fairly strong here in the early going with an early scoring opportunity. And the way things have gone for the girls after 4 games, you got to build on those positives. Boy, it sure would be nice for the Lady Red Devils to get something going here in the early going. Our number 18 is Redmond. Back to Stefanik, number 12. Walker tries to bring it around. Got an early start today here. It's back to school night. Olivia.
Yes, it
I
is.
guess your parents probably aren't going to that still, or are they?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
As a senior, now that you've been through the ropes, it doesn't happen so much.
Yeah, it doesn't happen too much.
I remember those days, back to school night. So obviously, extracurriculars today, they try to move everything up earlier. So today's field hockey game has moved up to a 3:30 start. It was supposed to be originally at 4:30. And down come the Raiders. Abigail Mistakis, number 2. And that's Kidd, Madeline Kidd, number 1. Alexis Dima, is number 11 for the Raiders. Not able to control that one. It's going to come back the other way for the Red Devils. We were talking about that metronome a little while ago. We were at this field hockey game a week or two ago, and I had never seen this before. The metronome was going on, the band was practicing, and the field hockey referees wanted our athletics director, Mr. Spencer, to tell the band to stop. That was some kind of scene. Well, needless to say, the band has been practicing that way for many, many years, that time of the day. So cooler heads prevailed. The game continued. The band continued. And common sense did prevail.
Yeah, we often practice with that metronome because sometimes we lose our thought of counting when we focus
Sure.
on work. So
Yeah, and I don't want to be critical of officials in general, but man, you can't stop all the activities going on here. And here come the Raiders, not able to control that one. Break there for Central. Hannah Blanchino, the sophomore, number 9, she leads Hillsboro with 6 goals so far this year, which is a pretty strong start, especially a sophomore. We're almost midway through. We are midway through the first quarter. No score. Like what I've seen so far from these Red Devils. Pressure applied there by Walker. There's a swing and a miss. But the Raiders able to bring that up. There's Kidd, number 1. Brings it to the midfield. Nice move by Madeline Kidd. Shot deflected wide. Hillsboro still with an opportunity here. And possession goes back to Central. If you're just joining us, no score here. Central with probably the best opportunity in the opening minute and a half of the game. And our junior goalie, Danny Podnicker, also kicked one aside. Had a beautiful rendition of our national anthem by Leah Shiala to start the game. So it was delightful to have a student up here singing live today. She did a great job. She's a senior here at Central. And we've got a corner now for the Raiders. An opportunity here for Hillsboro to score. Passing in front. That one's kicked out. Shot there by Caitlin Williams, turned aside. Williams brings it back in. And we are going to have another corner here. Some more opportunity for the Raiders. Clock now under 5 minutes to go in our first quarter of play. in front. The shot, and that's a goal. That is Haley Vogt. Haley Vogt scores for the Raiders, and that puts Hillsboro on the board early. So we're just a little over 10 minutes into this one. 4:45 left in the first quarter. It's Haley Vogt with a goal for Hillsboro. And the Raiders with a stellar 4-1-1 record. Their lone loss, a narrow one to Phillipsburg, who is a power this year. They are off to a 1-0 lead. So we talked a little bit about the band before. So are you guys doing any competitions this year at MetLife Stadium, or how does that schedule go?
Yeah, so there's different Saturdays in the month of October, and there might be one in November. I think it all ends in October.
Come on, Olivia, you don't know your schedule 6 months out?
I haven't memorized it like left to right, but we do have our competition we call the Yamaha Cup at MetLife Stadium in the second Saturday of October, which is always a big one, especially for me. Being an NFL fan, being on an NFL field, especially...
Who's your team, Olivia?
I don't know if most people here in Jersey or anywhere want to hear
Giants,
this,
Jets, or Eagles?
I'm a Cowboys fan.
Cowboys, all right.
Yes.
Cowboys. Well, you had a big win last week, Olivia.
Yes,
they
we did. Off a Brett Maher field goal.
Look at this name dropping. Who needs Dak Prescott to win games, huh?
Yep, he should be coming back soon.
Well, for those who know my football tastes, they aren't very good. That would be the Detroit Lions. I've been a fan my whole life. And that's one playoff win in my life, Olivia. That's not very good because I'm a pretty old guy. So I go back a long, long way with that team. But I can't leave them because one of these years, I keep saying that to myself.
One of these years, they're going to come out.
That's it. Luckily, their quarterback got traded last year, and he was able to enjoy a Super Bowl, but that didn't help out the Honolulu Blue and Silver at all. Yeah. Mr. Spencer, wishful thinking. What's it? Jets and Lions Super Bowl one of these years?
Jets and Lions.
Yeah. I think the term for that is when hell freezes over, something like that. So
it's when the bad teams start to turn in the good teams.
So how'd you get to be a Cowboy fan, Olivia?
So I started liking football ever since I've been over my uncle's house.
Okay.
And I guess since he's been a Cowboys fan, he's always had the Cowboys games on. And I've just sat in front of the TV and mainly watched the Cowboys. And then, here we are today.
Yeah, that star on the helmet. Have you ever been to a Cowboy game?
Actually, I'm going to one. Well, hold on.
Okay.
I've been to a Giants-Cowboys game at MetLife Stadium.
Okay.
But
well, that's a Cowboy game.
Yeah. I'm going to Texas
Ooh.
in December for the Colts game.
Oh, that is nice. That's good living.
Yeah, it was a Christmas present from this past Christmas.
Wow.
I've been dying to go there.
That will be a cool game. I got to go to the Jerry World maybe about 10 years ago against the Lions. Maybe it was the first or second year. It is something else. It's a big place.
Yes.
I'm sure you're going to have a great time there.
I am obviously going to tour that as well.
And I know the fans and parents who are watching field hockey are loving our football conversation, so I better get back a little bit to what's happening on the field.
Yes, we should.
That one gets past Stefanik, and Hillsboro will have. But I have been keeping an eye on the field. There's been a lot of midfield back and forth here. Hillsboro with an opportunity now. We've got about a minute to go in this first quarter. 1-0 Red Devils on a Haley Vogt goal. Under 30 seconds. So the Raiders will have an opportunity here in the closing seconds to come down, see if the Red Devils are able to turn them away. That's Madeline Kidd, number 1. Vicky Stefanik with the steal. And that should do it in the first quarter. As the buzzer sounds, marking the end of the first quarter. Our score is Hillsboro 1 and our Red Devils nothing. What did you draw from that first quarter of play here, Olivia?
There's a lot of action going into the quarter. We saw, obviously, that goal from Haley Vogt, which is the one and only goal that we have seen so far today. But Central is hoping to win this game and to score some goals and get it rolling.
Get things going. That's what it just takes, a little momentum. Momentum can go a long way. So we've got, we mentioned a few of the seniors for Central. It's a little bit of a transition year for the Red Devils. They lost a lot of talent from last year's club, from the last couple of years, and that's going to happen. I do know that we have one of our seniors, Maria Ippolito. Maria's going to go play at LIU next year, field hockey. I don't know if Laurel or Laney, what their plans are. I'm sure they have something in the works if they're looking to continue along in their field hockey careers, but it's always a bit of a somber time. As a fellow senior, you can relate to that. You mentioned before about the about your time at the Color Guard. Now, you've been a 4-year member of the Color Guard, Olivia?
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So what got your interest in doing this?
So my stepsister actually did Color Guard where she went to high school, which I don't remember where it was.
But she was the influence here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool. Now we're talking NFL a minute ago. There was a long-time stellar offensive lineman, only going back about 10, 15 years, named Paul Gruber. No relation, right?
No, not that
Tampa
I know
Bay
of.
Bucks lineman. He was an all-pro a couple of times. Wisconsin guy. Not a Cowboy, though.
I feel like I would have.
But you can Google that when you go home tonight, Olivia. Little Simon, what was Mr. Johnson talking about? Paul Gruber. He was a standout for a few years in the NFL. We're getting ready for action here in the second quarter of play. Kaya Jackson now manning the camera here at midfield. So we've got a 3-camera person rotation here with Kaya, Jamie, and Sydney. Hillsboro starting to get things going offensively here. And they will have an opportunity. And that's Vogt who scored the first goal. Pass in front, kicked aside by Podniker. So junior goalie Danny Podniker. Ooh, hear that wind blowing through the press box.
Yep. A little bit of a breeze up here.
A
in the press
delightful
box.
breeze today. Stolen by the Raiders. And there's number 11, Amanda Walker, a junior, so she'll be on the field again next year here at Central. Chance in front, Podniker save, rebound, that one goes in the goal. That is a goal for Hillsboro. Trying to see who got that one. There was a little action in front. No matter, that makes it 2-0 in favor of the Raiders. I want to say the goal scorer was number 14, Julia Ciccarini. I'm going to say her name is Julia Ciccarini, and I think it was her goal. So we're going to say it's Vogt with the first one for sure, and Ciccarini with that second goal. At any rate, Red Devils find themselves in, unfortunately, a familiar situation, trailing once again 2-0 now Hillsboro as Laurel Hanrahan looks to bring it down. Stolen away by Riva Hanaris. Hillsboro starting to take charge here now. Michelle Fruge, number 19. Oh, nice clear there by Walker. Goes all the way down. Central needed that. They just needed to get the ball out of their own defensive zone. Good job there by Walker. Maria Ippolito putting some pressure on. Maria takes it away. And now Central hopefully can get something going offensively, but not so fast. Takeaway here by the Raiders, and they send it down. We are 3 minutes into the second quarter. 2-0 Hillsboro. Goals by vote and by who did I say it was? Ciccarelli. Julia Ciccarelli.
I don't know if there's a L in there, but
CICC. I should have gotten that one before. How would you say that? Give it to me, Olivia.
I don't know.
Sakari.
Yeah.
How's that?
Yeah.
Sakari.
Because the C's.
Maybe I'll see her. If I see her parents at halftime, we'll get a clarification there.
Yep. Hopefully we don't get yelled at. But
Yeah, that's
it's
okay.
not our fault.
We're doing the best we can here.
Yep.
And now in the game for Central. Couple substitutions, but back come the Raiders. Oh, nice move there. Beautiful stick work there by Madeline Kidd. Central just not able to get anything going offensively this year. It's been a struggle. 2 goals in now 4+ games. And that makes a 2-goal deficit look that much bigger. Corner now by the Raiders. Another opportunity here for Hillsboro. Nice play there. Nice job by Laney Lynett. Defensively getting it down to Walker. It's Ippolito at midfield, battling for the ball. Inside of 10 minutes now, 9:40 and counting in the second quarter. Our offensive football brains, Connell Joyce, has just walked into the press box. Charting plays, no doubt, for tomorrow night's game. The Red Devils are on the road as they will face the Ridge Red Devils in the annual Battle of the Red Devils. Funny how Ridge's colors are green and they're the Red Devils, but
Yeah, that's pretty weird in my book.
but Coach Joyce and crew will be up at Ridge for a 7 o'clock kickoff tomorrow night. Just can't get that offense going. Boy, you just know what one goal would do for this team. Just a matter of confidence, like anything else. Confidence does wonders.
I'm pretty sure it would make them very happy.
Absolutely.
Yes, it will.
Confidence breeds success, Olivia. That's how it works. Stefanik battling and taking that one away. This goes out of bounds. The Raiders will put it in on the near side. So we hit the 8-minute mark of the second quarter, or first half. 2-0 Hillsboro. Shot there was by Lauren Flynn, number 15 of Hillsboro. Turned aside. And the Red Devils try to get something going. Boy, you would think we were out in a windy press box with that wind coming through. You have to get some windscreens for these, Olivia, for next time.
Yeah.
Coach Sponzo, I believe it's her 22nd year. She is the, I don't want to use the term elder statesman because that coach is going to feel old, and she's much younger than I am, but she's certainly the coach with the most seniority here at Central. Of the team sports, anyway. Coach Anson Smith and Coach Janine Calhoun were both here for quite a few years, but both have moved on this past off season. But still, neither of them is as long as Coach Sponzo. Six minutes to go here in the second quarter. Red Devils still playing hard for sure. The effort is there. Just not getting the results, not getting enough of what they need. Oh, and there's a steal, an opportunity. That is going to result in a corner and another chance here for Hillsboro.
Wow, that is one big wind gust.
Wind, yeah.
In the press box.
Beautiful day, too. Just an absolutely gorgeous day. Off the corner. The shot turned aside. Pottinker is able to make the save. Hillsboro still on offense. Oh, shot there, just wide. That was Madeline Kidd with the backhander. That was almost trouble. Almost caught the corner of that cage. Ball put into play by Sienna DePaulo, number 15 of Central, just a sophomore DePaulo. So she's got a bright future ahead. And on the near side, that's Caitlin Redmond, who will put this one into play for Central. Goes out toward midfield, but Hillsboro able to keep it in, as they have for most of this game. Oh, nice play there, but taken it right back by the Raiders, and here's going to be a chance. I don't think that's good diction. Did I just say here's going to be a chance, Olivia?
I think so.
Yeah, all right. We're going to just kind of forget I said that.
Yeah, that sounds weird.
My grammar not so good. And there's Vicky Stefanik. She will bring the ball up and put it in play. So we now hit the 3-minute mark of the second quarter. Here's Kidd. She's a nice stick handler for Hillsboro. Madeline Kidd. Been impressive today. She puts it in front. There's traffic. Central looking to clear. Not able to. Oh, that one's right in front and a chance. No such luck for Hillsboro. All things considered, Olivia, Central should be down by a little more than 2 goals, in my opinion. But the scoreboard still just reads 2-0.
Yeah, I've been seeing some pretty good defense from both sides,
Yep.
which is what we like to see.
Red Devils hanging tough. Redmond blasts that one down. And there's Hanrahan battling for the ball. Out of bounds. Amanda Walker will put this one into play, or is it Redmond? I think it's going to be Redmond. Junior midfielder. Minute 45 to go. Nice if the Red Devils could knock one in and get back in this game a little bit. Hanrahan tries to bring it down. Here's a chance for Central. Jessica Schnell. No, excuse me, that was Redmond. Minute to go. And the Raiders will send it back the other way. Taken away at midfield by Central. .35 seconds to go. Ashley Mitchko, number 4 in the far corner. .15 seconds. Red Devils will have to hurry to try to get something going here. And if the Raiders can clear, and it looks like they will, that will be the end of the first half of play. Hillsboro 2, Hunterdon Central nothing after 30 minutes of play. What's your quick take on that one, Olivia?
Saw a lot of good defense from both sides, like I said a little bit earlier. But looking into this second half, probably going to see the same thing, but we hope that Central will score some goals.
Yeah, it's that 2 goals is only a 2-goal lead, but when you figure we've only scored 2 goals in 4.5 games, it looms large. But fingers crossed the right corrections can be made. We're going to take a little break here from the press box at Stewart Field. Once again, a halftime score. Raiders 2, Red Devils nothing. And we are back for second half action. Red Devils and the visiting Hillsboro Raiders. Hillsboro with a 2-0 lead. Joining us for a little second half action is Avery Fulton, a freshman here at Central. Welcome, Avery.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Avery's on their JV field hockey team at Central. Because we have back to school night, a lot of things are sort of sped up today, including the game time start here. Avery's able to join us, so what the little I know about field hockey is hopefully going to be offset a little bit, but by Avery's deep knowledge. How many years have you been playing field hockey, Avery?
I've been playing since 5th grade.
Okay, so this is year 5 for you, and year 1 in the Hunterdon Central program. How's the JV team been doing so far?
The JV team's been doing pretty well. We've won almost, I think, all of our games.
That's great to hear. So we've got a JV team that's 4-0. Obviously, the varsity's in a little bit of a rebuilding situation. Red Devils, though, playing pretty tough today. They really are. This is a good team in Hillsboro, and it's been going okay. It's just hard to get that offense going. So, Avery, what is it? And you've been playing now for 5 years. When you're just offensively, things aren't really clicking. What do you think you got to try to do to get things going a little bit?
I think it's important to make good cuts and really look for who's open in passes, and just getting the shots on goal whenever you get in the circle.
Yep. And what, you know, as an athlete, you know what it's like, right? You get some confidence, you have some success, you feel better about yourself, you play better, right? Is it as simple as that?
Yeah, I think a lot of it is just getting the momentum going and feeling good about your playing.
Now, what's been your take so far? You've been in our program, obviously, just the first year, so between practices and games, probably 5 or 6 weeks you've been at it. What's been your take of playing high school field hockey so far?
It's definitely a lot more intense than middle school. We've been doing a lot more running, and it's a lot more fitness component to it. But yeah, I just really am enjoying it so far.
And I guess you guys are practicing with Coach Sponzo in the varsity typically, right? You practice with the varsity?
Yeah, we do practice with the varsity. Sometimes we split up, but it's normally combined.
So let's talk about what that does for your skill level, playing with bigger girls. Avery, you're what, 14?
Yes.
You're 14. You're playing with some girls who are 17, 18 years old. How has that helped you as a field hockey player, playing with better, more skilled players?
It's definitely helping me to see how to do harder skills. Like in the middle school, we never really learn skills like aerials, which I'm seeing a lot of today.
So aerials, what part of the game is that? Aerials is when they just kind of lift the ball up, right?
Yeah. I've seen a couple aerials from Hillsboro. They just lift it pretty far into the air, and it gets a lot of movement down on the field.
So that's something I would imagine that that the girls are taught in practice, and you work on a little bit, right? You don't see it that much though in the games, right?
Yeah, a lot of skills like that are practiced, but you don't always get to use them. It depends on the situation you're in.
Well, it's great to have Avery Fulton, a JV player here at Central, a freshman, join us, and she's hopefully going to be joining us at HCTV this year, as we've got Adriana Duda, junior defenseman, putting that one in play. So what's been your take about the varsity team? I mean, obviously this is all kind of new to you this year as a first-year player in the program, but who in the varsity has impressed you in either practice or watching during the games?
So I'm a defensive player, and I've been playing sweep position. So I've been looking at Adriana Duda, and she's been pretty impressive with her skills.
Oh, that's a tough one right there for Adriana. That's one that just hit the player in the face. Yeah. And luckily, she looks to be okay. So as that happens, weren't goggles part of the equipment at one time? That was that mandatory, or am I making that up?
That was mandatory, especially in middle school. We wore them all the time, but here and in college, you don't have to wear them anymore, just a mouth guard.
Okay, I see. So I'm going to guess that player, and I didn't catch who it was that took that one in the face, probably wished she had the goggles on, but it was number 2, says our now spotter, Olivia Gruber. Abigail Mistakis. So Duda puts this one into play. And what's been your take on playing with Coach Sponzo? Coach Hoff is your coach during the games?
Yeah, we have Coach. I'm actually familiar with Coach Hoff. She was a teacher at RMS, which is the school I come from.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have 3 kids that also also went to RMS, so I know Coach Hoff from there as well. But what's been your take so far with just being around Coach Sponzo and her program? Coach Sponzo is the longest tenured coach at this school. I think it's her 22nd year, give or take a year. What's been your take of just being around her and how she runs the program?
She's definitely a great coach. She really knows what she's doing, and she knows a lot of plays that really helps the team, I think.
So we've got a corner here for Hillsboro. So talk to me a little bit about the strategy here if you're Central. How do you want to try to defend this?
So it really is all about what they do. The flyer, Laney, goes out and tries to defend them. And there's a goal.
And there is a goal for Hillsboro. And I think I was listening to you start to talk the strategy. I thought that might have been number 7, Kylie Marley, on that one. I could be wrong, but anyway, so we're really sort of dependent. They make the first move and we react to it, correct?
Yes, they can either shoot right at the circle, or they can pass left, right, or sometimes it's inserted to a player lower on the circle.
Well, as we saw there, Avery, that's a big advantage for a team to have that corner, and they just cashed in on it. Now 3-0 Hillsboro as we make our way toward the midway point. What got you interested, Avery, in field hockey just to begin with when you were a young girl, just to do it?
I don't know. It was just a unique sport, and I was looking for some, and it just seemed pretty cool. It's not very popular, and not a lot of people know about it, which, I don't know, yeah.
What would you say is the best aspect of playing it? I mean, obviously this is your 5th year playing field hockey, first at the high school level, but just your kind of takeaway. What would if you were talking to a younger person who's trying to figure out they want to do something, they're not sure what, how would you sell field hockey?
Well, field hockey, it's just a great community. Everybody there is so kind, and also the sport is very intense, and it gets you to learn a lot about all the different rules, and I think it's great for your mind and body as well. A lot of conditioning and practices.
Now, do you ever have a chance to watch players at the next level, like college players on TV or in person or anyone like that?
Yeah, I've seen a couple Rutgers field hockey games.
And it's bigger and faster, huh?
Yes.
Like every other sport. So let's talk about what's going on right now as Maria Ippolito battles for the ball.
Yeah.
Just the offensive setup for Hillsboro. What's the strategy involved? And again, I'm coming at you from somebody who's not that versed in field hockey. So what do they play a certain kind of offense that you can see?
I haven't paid attention to Hillsboro's lineup, more of Central's, but from what I can see, Central...
All right, well, let's talk about our defense then.
Yeah, Central plays with 4 defenders. Usually it's only 3, but, well, like, here at Central they play with 4, which I like the setup for that. So that involves, instead of just 3 backs, it also involves a sweeper, which is kind of the last line of defense.
And why would we go with that extra defender, do you think? Like, what's the thought process behind that?
Well, it really helps, especially if you get beat. There's always someone there to help out instead of it just being a 1v1 with the goalie.
I see. So we got nice clearing there by Adriana Duda. So as somebody who plays in the back, like she is that sort of the idea? I mean, it sounds simplistic, but does she really want to clear it down like she did right there?
Yes, that's a great strategy, especially up the sideline like she just did. That's it's pretty good playing there.
And then Hillsboro, I saw just launch that one. And I'm sorry, what did you call that?
An aerial.
An aerial.
Yeah.
I'm going to put that into my lexicon if I have to do any more games this year.
That's some nice channeling.
Okay, channeling. Stop there. So what's channeling?
Channeling is when you have a stick and you're playing defense and you're just kind of channeling them to the sidelines instead of right in the middle where it's easier for them to score.
Okay.
Oh, and that was a good interception.
Another chance here for the Raiders. Kicked aside by Danny Pottinker. So typically, and again, you experience these goalies in practice. We have a pair of juniors out there, and Danny and Kelly Weaver. How do you think they have sort of developed as you've seen this year sort of unfold? They're both relatively new players to the varsity game here.
Yeah, they're both very nice people. I know them.
Which is most important, by the way.
Yes.
See, I'm not a very nice person, so I can say that. But anyway, you were saying.
They're great goalies. They always give 100%. And it's really great to have them on the field. Sometimes, goalies aren't that common, especially in a sport like field hockey. So it's great to see that we have 3, 2 for varsity and 1 for JV.
So what do you think is the appeal of playing goalie? If you're a girl that's kind of learning the game, you decide I want to be a goalie. How does that happen? That seems like a different kind of position.
Yeah, being a goalie, it's really hard because you're just getting balls thrown at you all day. But it takes a lot of devotion to be in that position, which is it's great that they are goalie. I would say the appeal would be just like you get more. It's more intense action. It's a high stress position. Yeah.
Yep. So far, Danny's had a pretty solid game because I'm going to be honest, this game probably should be a little more than it is.
Yeah.
And there's the aerial you were talking about.
Yep.
So do you sense that Hillsboro maybe uses the aerial more than some teams do?
Yeah, I've definitely seen it a lot more in this game than I normally do.
That one comes back the other way. As we're fortunately joined by Avery Fulton, a freshman here at Central and a JV player, as she's holding my hand through this game and my field hockey knowledge. Last year, as I mentioned earlier today to somebody, that Maria Ippolito, when she was hurt, came up and did a game, and she was just great educationally, and I'm picking up a lot here today too. Problem is, Avery, I don't have a good retention. Like, a memory is not what it used to be. But anyway, we're talking a little bit like we know something today. At least you are. Oh yeah. Field hockey official. I'm told that. And I never knew this. Mr. Estrada, who's one of our vice principals here at Hunterdon Central, is a field hockey official. So he could be our Gene Steratore up here, rules interpretation. Because I'll be honest, Mr. Spencer, who's our athletics director, was just pointing that out about Mr. Estrada. The whistle blows an awful lot in this game, Avery, and I'll be perfectly honest. I don't know what's going on a lot of times when I hear the whistle blowing.
A lot of times it's because of a foot. If the ball hits your foot, it's an automatic free hit for the other team. Sometimes it's your sticks aren't allowed to have contact with each other, so sometimes it's like that. Or other times it's just a dangerous call.
So how long did it take for you to grasp these rules? I mean, there's a lot of nuanced rules to field hockey.
Yeah, I'm still learning a bunch of the rules, but I would say about like 2 years in, I was pretty solid with them.
Okay. And what does the off season consist of for you? Do you play? Is there like a club level in this fall, winter or spring, or do you play? I know some of these girls translate to, or they transition to lacrosse.
Yeah. I just play field hockey. In this winter I'm going to play Omega, and usually in the spring I do another club, the Mid Jersey Knights.
Okay. So you are a full season field hockey person. That's great. I know in past couple of years we've probably had 5 or 6 girls who did both field hockey and lacrosse.
Yeah, it's a pretty common combination.
Yeah, not so much. I don't know this year, but of course Coach Sponzo's older daughter is at Rowan. She is a sophomore at Rowan, and last I heard, I want to say Rowan might be number 1 in the country at Division III. They're very high. Check that up for me, Olivia, if you could. So Coach Sponzo's older daughter. And I'm drawing a blank on her first name. It'll come to me in a minute. Jordan Sponzo, thank you. I knew it was a J. Yep. Jordan graduated from Central in 2021. And that was great as Avery Fulton joined us for third quarter action. And now we are back at it after 3 quarters. Olivia Gruber joins me back up in the press box. 3-0 in favor of Hillsboro, who's been fairly dominant in this game. But quite honestly, Olivia, I think there's a lot of positives for the Red Devils. Just trailing 3-0, they've played tough. They've played tough, especially defensively.
Yeah, I've seen that a lot. Like you said earlier, this game should be a little bit higher than it is, but Danny is playing some good defense in the goal, as well as all the girls on the field. For our side, they're playing some pretty good defense today.
And as we can see, why this Hillsboro team is very strong at 4-1-1 coming into this one. This was going to be a very tough match for our Red Devils, and it's proven to be that way. But again, 3-0 it's still a fairly competitive game. The opener against North was similar to this. North is a very strong team, and we were hung in there the whole game. And the final was 4-0. I think North scored late in the game. But again, it's a lot of new faces this year for the Red Devils, and it happens every year in sports. Sometimes you just have the horses, sometimes not as much. As we look around our other fall sport teams, we've got new coaches both in boys and girls soccer. Lady Red Devils won yesterday, a nice one here at Stewart Field on the live stream, 1-0. The lone goal scored by who else? Reagan Schubach. It's Reagan, one of the premier goal scorers in the state, as in like all time in the state. She scored the lone goal yesterday. Reagan off to play in South Carolina for the Gamecocks next year. So the Lady Red Devils on the pitch are now 4-2. And the boys soccer team drew with Bridgewater yesterday 1-1. So they have 1 loss and a tie for new coach John Deneen. So after so many years in the fall of having dealing with the same faces here, Coach Sponzo in field hockey and coaches Smith and Calhoun in soccer, got new faces on the soccer pitch this year, but still an awful lot of talent. The Red Devils doing well. Here's a chance for Central. And I think we've got a corner here, so an opportunity for the Red Devils to get on the board. Let's see if they can capitalize on this one. Hasn't really been much work for the Hillsboro netminder today. I believe that's Carrie O'Donnell. I think that's 66. Ball comes out. Central can't control. Here's a chance. Sienna DePaulo keeps it in to Ippolito. Nice move there by Maria. She puts it in front. But the goalie, O'Donnell, is clearly up to the task, and really her first action of the day. And back the other way come the Raiders. End-to-end action. Not able to quite control it. Does that look like a breakaway? .13 minutes left in this one. 3-0 in favor of Hillsboro. As a few clouds have moved over, just cloud covering on the sunshine, but certainly a very, very comfortable day here at Stewart Field. As mentioned, the football team will take its 2-2 record to Ridge tomorrow night for a tough one against the Ridge Red Devils. Central had a nice battle last week against Bridgewater, falling just short. But Coach Casey Ransone's team, after a tough start against what now appears to be a very strong North team, Central had righted the ship with a couple of wins, and they take a 2-2 record to Ridge tomorrow night for a tough game. And then on the hardwood, we have the girls volleyball team in action tomorrow against Roxbury here on the live stream at 5:30. Believe the Lady Red Devil volleyball team is 4-2, if I'm not mistaken now. As we're starting to get to the time of the year when the county tournament selections will be coming out before we know it. And we'll see where our teams place, as Central always a perennial power in the Hunterdon, Warren, Sussex tournaments for whatever sport. In fact, in the springtime, I think, Olivia, we had a clean sweep. Boys, girls, lacrosse, baseball, and softball all were county champions, which is says a lot for our athletics program. So when you guys have your competitions, back to the color guard, the band itself, so when you guys are doing, say, the Yamaha event up at MetLife, the whole band and color guard are judged collectively. Is that correct? Or do you have yours, or are the color guard kind of judged independently?
So, from when we've looked at our scores and everything, all of our scores are like in one, but there are separate judges for like each section. So there'll be like a judge on the field and like some judges up in the higher part of the press box, and then there's like different section awards. So there could be best color guard, best visual, all these different.
Yep, different
all
criteria.
Different things.
So as someone who's been in this atmosphere for a while now, I imagine you have a pretty decent eye as you're watching other teams perform. You're thinking, these guys are so-so, or these guys are great. Is that true when you're watching? Do you have that feel?
A little bit. Sometimes we don't really get to watch because we're either warming up, like at MetLife. We're in the big parking lot. We're all warming up.
I see.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's not like you sit around and wait for your turn. You've got your own routine and your own. Yep.
And
that makes sense.
Sometimes we, from the visiting bands for the football team, sometimes we see them do their halftime show, but sometimes we don't because they're either not prepared or they just don't really want to do it.
Yeah, nothing worse than that.
Mm-hmm.
So joined by Olivia Gruber, a senior here at Central and an esteemed member of our color guard, an integral part of our marching band performance, and Central always one of the top bands in the state. Olivia, what's the biggest, kind of the biggest buzz you get from doing this? Is it a matter of when you come out for a football game here at Central, when you're going into the cavernous MetLife Stadium? Kind of what's been your biggest thrill doing this?
So I'd like to say the football games, but for me it's MetLife because that's one of like the big competitions, and you're in front of a lot of more people than the football games.
Yep.
So it's always nerve-wracking. So I always get the nerves, and then we all just do our little routine to get our nerves out and stuff. So.
But there's an energy when you come on to Stewart Field, because
Yeah.
if you see more of your family's probably at both, but your friends, you got more friends that are probably here watching, right? So that's got to be kind of cool.
Yeah.
So how many hours a week would you say you guys are practicing?
So might have to calculate this, not in my head, but
That's right. Give me a
So-
ballpark.
we do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Well, sometimes Thursdays, from 5:30 to 8:30. So that should be about 9-ish hours a week,
Okay.
which is, I think, pretty good. And
Yeah, I'll say.
some can say that it's a lot, but some can and can't say it's a lot. But for me personally, it fills up time so that I'm, not always working, and that I'm not always like sitting at home doing homework all the time.
I don't want to give a free plug, but Olivia works at a prominent chicken restaurant here in
Yes.
Flemington. We'll leave it at that. But I talked to a couple of your teammates back in the late summer. Oh, here's a chance for Central. First things first, let's see if the Red Devils can get something going offensively. And we're going to have a corner. We're going to get back to the band in just a minute, Olivia, I promise, because I want to hear the rest of the story. But let's see if the Red Devils can get something going offensively here. Number 11, Amanda Walker, will put this one into play. We've got a little under 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. And Walker sends it in front. That's Ippolito. Shot there, goes wide. So Caitlin Redmond's shot deflected wide. No, I'm sorry, that was Jessica Schnell shot. Central will once again put it into play. Boy, it'd be nice to get on the board here for the Red Devils. And Maria Ippolito brings it down. Taken away and sent back the other way by Hillsboro. Yeah, Red Devils still playing a tough match. They are really playing hard here. But let's get back to what we were talking about, Olivia. So the group in general, I talked to a couple of your teammates in late summer, and they really kind of expressed like it's a family group. Maybe because you guys practice so much, it's one of those things. Just talk a little bit about what that's like. We always know with the athletes how they always present themselves. What's it like for you as somebody in the color guard in that front, the family aspect with your teammates?
Yeah, so like you said earlier, we're like a family. We talk about everything together. We have sometimes we have our downs, but mostly we have our ups. Because we get to know each other so well because we're with each other for almost the last 2 weeks of summer, and from there to like the end of October, even after the season, we still keep in touch. Like, we're always supporting each other and making sure that we're all prepared and
Yep.
you know,
It's a great time of life when you can enjoy doing something like that. Now, I'm not sure. I don't know if we've talked really about plans for next year. You thinking about going to college or?
Yeah, so I'm thinking about going to college for sports media.
Look at this.
Yes.
Who knew? We'll talk about that later. So sports media. So where are you looking at, Olivia?
So I was looking at Virginia Tech.
Okay.
And Ithaca, which I had just had a college visit with them back.
Terrific.
On their campus, after band camp in late August.
Yeah, they've got quite the media program up at Ithaca College. Virginia Tech, of course, a big time football school. Kind of funny, my son, who goes to college up in Scranton, is driving down with his buddy to Tennessee this weekend. And I said, gee, Dan, if you left earlier today, you could have seen Virginia Tech tonight. They're playing a home game in Blacksburg tonight against West Virginia. That sounds like a good time.
Yes, it does.
But yeah, that'll be interesting, Olivia, wherever you go. But first of all, those are two different places. Ithaca right up on Cayuga Lake. I'm an upstater myself. I'm from Binghamton, New York, which isn't far away. But smaller school, smaller sports program, big media program. But Virginia Tech, ooh, that's a scene on Saturday afternoon. Not that I've been there, but I've been to many places like it, and it is quite the scene. So what are you leaning toward at this point? Are there any other schools sort of in play? Or?
I was looking at Ryder, which is in Lawrenceville.
Sure, right nearby.
Yes.
Close to home. You can get a nice home-cooked meal when you want it. Get your laundry done when you need it. I know all about this stuff.
Yeah. I was also looking at Kutztown.
Okay. Yep. That's not all that far away.
Yeah, not that far away. I was trying to remember.
Well, let's stop there before I completely tap out your knowledge on that. Would you ever want to do color guard at any of these places, or is this it?
So, I'm thinking this is it because I mainly want to focus going towards my big goal, which is in a sports stadium. Maybe, hopefully, the NFL or the
right.
MLB.
Hey, you think that. Don't let anyone get in your way. Think those things.
Yep.
So what would you find you'd like to be doing? I'll ask that crazy question. 10 years from now, what would Olivia Gruber like to be doing?
Being on the NFL field, doing film, or announcing.
Okay. All right. Hey, you go, girl. We'll get plenty of practice the rest of the year. Once Color Guard ends, we have a couple more seasons, Olivia. So we've got a full winter season ahead with a lot of sports, and same with the spring. And of course, we've got plenty over in the auditorium with our concerts and productions. So there will be plenty of opportunities to hone your craft. As Hillsboro looking to distance themselves further, we're in the final 2 minutes of this one. This game has been settled, but a very respectable 3-0 showing. I never want to talk too much. It sounds like it's phony a bit when you start saying how your team does so well, but they really did do well today. Central played very hard, just a little bit overmatched, quite honestly. Hillsboro team very strong. Central knew that coming in, but the players are playing hard.
They had some pretty good defense that I've seen this whole entire game. But not knowing field hockey, I feel like it's the best defense.
Don't tell me you don't know field hockey.
I've never played field
you sound like a
hockey.
champ today, Olivia. You killed it.
I have never played field hockey.
And now Avery gave us a few terms, and
Yes, she
aerial, right? Yeah. I was able to use that here in the fourth quarter once when Hillsboro had that pass. 40 seconds left as the clock is ticking down on the Red Devils. And there's the aerial there by Maria Ippolito. Central will fall to 0-5, and things don't get easier as the same strong group of clubs Central has played. They get to play for a second time coming up in the next couple of weeks before hopefully the load lightens up a little bit. We are in the final seconds. And the horn goes off, and that's going to be the end of this one. I think at the end of quarters they would get they'd get the corner, but at the end of the game, that's going to be the end of the game. So there is no corner. That's going to be the final score. Red Devils fall to the Hillsboro Raiders by the count of 3-0. Any final thoughts on this one, Olivia?
I've said this many times. I've seen pretty good defense from both sides. It's just Central's just falling short, but they look to,
play hard. Continue to play hard. That's it. And then when the schedule softens up a little bit, you get your confidence and kind of make some hay then. Well, that is going to wrap things up for our we have a big crew up here today. Chloe Achenbach calling the shots. We've got Kaya Jackson, Sydney Simeon, and Jamie Cohen working camera today. Mr. Spencer up keeping us company, watching us mind our P's and Q's. So for Olivia Gruber, I'm Jim Johnson. Our final score is Hillsboro 3 and the Red Devils 0.